Today on the podcast, we want to talk about a super interesting story. As everyone knows, especially in America, the Super Bowl happened last night. Big, wild upset with the Eagles completely smoking the Chiefs. I hope that if you follow football, you're not, feeling the pain right now. One winner for sure in the Super Bowl, while it may not have been the Chiefs, was Perplexity. And today on the podcast, we want to talk about not just what happened with Perplexity, but I think how I think we can see more AI companies taking, or other companies, or your own company if you're listening, taking some of the strategies. But Perplexity, they did a tweet during the Super Bowl. It increased their app installs by 50%, which is insane. Jamie is going to talk about it for us.
Yeah, before I get into that, I wanted to quick remind you about our school community. It is an amazing place. We have over 300 members, and it is where you want to be if you want to learn how to use AI to make money. Whether you're looking to start a side hustle this year or grow your business using AI, it is just a wealth of knowledge and also people who are both using and making money with AI. So we have a huge library of bonus content each week. We release a new episode over there, getting into more of the nitty gritty of how we actually make money with AI. But it's just a really great place. Right now, it's only $19 a month. It's been $100 in the past, and so that's a great deal. And so, yeah, it's our February special. So if you want in on that, you better go check it out. Anyways, back to Perplexity. Perplexity, this makes a great sense to me. They instead of doing a Super Bowl ad, they made a tweet or an X post, and they decided to give away $1 million to someone who signed up for their app. Given that Super Bowl commercials are $8 million for a 30-second spot, this seems like a pretty good strategy to me. I don't know. They must have released the posts during the Super Bowl when people were scrolling through Twitter. I'm not sure exactly when they posted it, but apparently they had a 50% increase in their app installs by doing this giveaway.
5,000 people like this. It had 1.1 million views as far as impression goes. So anyways, I think this is funny. The comments on it are I don't know. There's lots of funny comments on this thing. But yeah, I don't know. I think this gets to a really interesting strategy, I think, which with the AI companies, there's a lot of competition. There's a lot going on right now. And you can think of ways, I'll bet you doing something like this and getting something like this to go viral, the contest giving away $1 million, everyone's going to talk about this. Hey, did you hear about the thing? If you use this app and ask it 5 questions, it's like a lottery ticket for $1 million. Like, I think that's a really catchy idea. And like you said, Jamie, this is literally saving them $7 million if they were previously going to do a Perplexity Super Bowl ad, which maybe wouldn't have even been as which might not have actually been as good, because if you think about it, there's going to be I feel like there's got to be not a huge conversion rate, views of the Super Bowl on a TV straight to people going to their phone and downloading an app. Whereas if you're saying like, go download the app or ask a question on your phone, people got to do that to enter the contest. So I don't know. I think this is really creative and a great way to kind of think outside the box on marketing some of these AI companies.
Yeah, I mean, so Perplexity, as we've mentioned before on this podcast, is an amazing product. They have a great program, and it's really useful. And so I think, getting people to sign up is their number one problem. And like you said, I don't know if they're going to be able to get enough curiosity out of people in a 30-second Super Bowl ad to get a bunch of downloads, where if, you're doing a giveaway, that makes a lot more sense. I think some of these AI companies should do this, because, that's kind of a drop in the bucket of their budget and how much money they're spending on development and things. And, as we've talked about before, user base is, a huge part of valuing a company and all that. So I think it's a genius plan.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Okay, but let's talk about the actual numbers, because I think the concept here is quite good, but did they actually pull it off is the question. And so this is early as well, so we should stay tuned if this gets revised. But App Store estimates, based off of what actually happened, essentially show that Perplexity grew their downloads to about 45,000 on Sunday following the Super Bowl. I think that the only downside is like a contest like this, where it's like ask during the Super Bowl. There's a kind of a very small window of time where you can use the tool and try to enter the contest. Whereas if something goes viral or gets a lot of views as a Super Bowl ad, the video could stick around for a long time. It could get added to all these like best ads of the Super Bowl. People could talk about it. It could show up. And I feel like your reach isn't just like on the screen during the Super Bowl, but kind of like around and afterwards. With this, you kind of, I mean, I guess I'm reading a news article and we're talking about it on a podcast the next day. So I guess they do get a little bit of that. So I guess, yeah, maybe I'm being premature on this, but as of like Sunday for the actual Super Bowl, for the actual contest, not just people talking about the contest, which I think probably drove a lot of engagement. They were at 45,000 downloads, but their average is about 30,000 downloads, according to app figures, which also take with a grain of salt. This is not perfect. A better indication is they apparently has helped Perplexity's app go up in the US App Store top charts. It hit spot number 7. And I think then it went down to like 19. But anyways, it got up to spot number 6. It got up to spot number 6, which I think is impressive. That's a big move. That one I would say is more indicative of the contest actually working than the app figures. They might not have the actual data, but if that is true, only getting 15,000 extra installs for $1 million, I don't know how worth it is.
That's a good point.
But I know we're talking about it today, so maybe it keeps it top of mind for people. I don't know.
Yeah, that is slightly unfortunate for them because I'm guessing they had some really cool graphics and gameplay data that they pulled up too. Because you remember the election, they had some really cool graphics and charts and stuff. So I'm sure they did. I'm sure they put a lot of effort into it as well for the Super Bowl. So yeah, I don't know. I wish more people would use Perplexity because it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool tool. I think it's awesome. I use it. One thing I'll say, they have a good strategy. Perplexity seems like they're trying like all the marketing strategies. Like you mentioned during the election, they had this whole election portal. When I'm trying to remember, it was like, oh yeah, the New York Times was on strike, and they're like, don't worry, we built an election portal. So for the New York Times, all the strike workers, if you need election data, you can come to us. And I just thought that was like a really funny angle. Like they probably built that election portal like months before, but they were just like jumping on the bandwagon of the New York Times story to try to be relevant, So I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah, for sure. Either way, if you have not tried out Perplexity yet, you should definitely try it out because it is a great app, and they cite all their sources for results they give, and it's just I really like it. So anyways, be sure to check out our school community again if you haven't checked it out. This week we talked about a new app called Creatify and how I'm using it to make videos at scale. And it's really easy. So, but thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.